Welcome back to another Valley Sports Talk interview. On today's episode, we have Deep River native, Blake Menard. Blake, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Noah?
I'm doing good. Thanks for coming on. I'll let Blake do a quick intro in a minute, or about what he is, but Blake is currently playing CCHL Junior A for the Smith Falls Bears. But yeah, Blake, I'll let you give yourself a quick interview or a quick intro. Just let the people know.
Yeah, I'm from Deep River, and I moved down to Smith Falls and started playing for the Bears a couple months ago. And yeah, it's been good.
Perfect. As you just said, you're currently playing for Smith Falls. We'll get later into their sort of your journey up to Smith Falls, but just sort of give us a little bit of background, the levels you played growing up, sort of how you got into hockey, just so people are a bit more familiar with you.
Yeah, so I started out in Deep River, played my couple till novice second year, and then I went on and played for Petawawa for a year because there was no rep in Deep River.
Mhm.
And then I moved on to play Aces. Played Aces growing up all the way till Bantam second year, and then I got drafted to Pembroke in the U18 draft. Went to Pembroke for U18 AAA for a year, and then moved on to Junior B for the Whitewater Kings out of Cobden when COVID hit, and then that season was brought pretty short. And then I played another year in Whitewater, and then I moved up north to Cochrane, Ontario, to play for the Crunch. We weren't a very good team, but had a blast up there. Very fun. And then I got traded in the off season to Elliott Lake. We started off in Elliott Lake, and then things we lost our rink first game of the year due to structure that was not good enough to play in. And then we moved to Massey, and then at the trade deadline, January 10th, I got traded to Smith Falls, and here I am.
Yeah, we'll get into Elliott Lake a bit later. I have a couple questions about that, but I will give them recognition. They just won the Crafts Hockey Bill there, which is cool. So hopefully some of that money they get can get put into a new rink, so their junior team there can have their own barn. So we'll start off just a bit from Deep River perspective. You got two brothers. One's a year older than me. One's what, 2 years younger than you?
3 years younger than me.
Three
Yeah.
years younger than you. Sort of. I know three boys. There's going to be some sort of competitive influence in that house. So how did like having your brothers around the whole time sort of help you get to where you are now?
It's been well, Evan, my older brother, he always would go to the outdoor rink, and he'd always hit me the extra bit, and always go on shinny hockey. He'd always try to be better than me and hit me and whatever. And then my younger brother Riley, he's a goalie, so it's always been trying to snipe on him, and just competitive. It's always been a battle, us three, and even dad tries to
Yeah,
come in too.
yeah. Couple of your ice times there. Whenever you come back for the Christmas there, you invite me out to some of them. But yeah, your Riley really does not like getting scored on by you or your Evan there. And you can tell that whenever if you and Evan are against each other, even your dad, you guys are trying to go head to head, uh trying to outdo each other. So yeah, having grown up with a bunch of one older, one younger is definitely going to be a competitive atmosphere. We just sort of mentioned your dad. I know he did coach you a decent amount, right, growing up, if I'm not mistaken. He was my coach a lot. Obviously playing as high level as you did, he had to, sacrifice a lot of late nights, a lot of driving. How was sort of your dad and even your mom's influence sort of had on you in your hockey journey?
Yeah, definitely. So dad coached me. He always liked to coach, but he started coaching me Bantam first year. He wanted to try coaching the Aces, and I think he coached the year before that. He coached the midget team, which Noah was on, and they took it all away and won it.
That was
So that got
Bantam.
him up.
That was Bantam.
Bantam, sorry.
Yeah, that
So
was
it's
Bantam.
my Bantam
But
first year. He
you,
moved on to
I guess it'd be like you, what, you 16 now? Because all the names got changed there.
yeah, sorry,
You
U
16.
16. So we did that, and he coached, and we didn't have any cuts that year. We actually had to bring in people from other teams and to make a team, and we did really good. I think I think we made it to the finals, and we had a blast that year in Aces in U16, and then yeah, he's been driving me pretty much living in Deep River. The closest practice is Cobden, which is about an hour away. Doing that twice a week, plus skate on top of that in Ottawa, which is almost 2 hours away. So yeah, he's been him and mom have been doing a lot of traveling for me.
Yep, for sure. So yeah, um, getting into it. So you played a couple years of Aces. Your dad coached you, and then you jumped right to the to junior B, playing for Whitewater. The COVID year was the year that I actually got to play against you a lot, because we were on the
Yeah,
two Valley teams, and the way that it worked in the Valley here was, I was on the Valley Timberwolves, which is now Renfrew. We would just play Blake's team. So obviously I would like to say my team had the upper hand on you guys pretty in most of it. So how did that sort of year impact you? Sort of like growing into the player you are. You were a younger player in that league, especially playing against a bunch of guys on my team who were like, I guess vets in junior hockey. So how did that league sort of, or that year sort of, affect you?
yeah. So Jason Gould brought me in and basically told me that this is going to be a good year. Like it's not obviously going to be the year we all wanted, but we all like Jason definitely helped me out along the way. And we played you guys, I don't know, 20 times, and you
Funny
guys
time.
probably won 19, maybe even
I,
20 of them.
yeah, maybe.
But but no, it was definitely bigger. Like I was only 15, 16 at the time playing against 20 year olds and 21-year olds. You guys had an older team. But yeah, it was good and nobody contact though, which
The
kind of helped
COVID
me
years.
out in a way going
COVID
on.
years, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
you said you played 2 years there, COVID year, and then a year after. The year after was like a back to a regular sort of season, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, we had a regular season that year, played all 45 games.
Yeah.
And then
And then after that year, as you mentioned, yeah, I'll be out in a minute. You got brought up to Cochrane in the Noj or the NOJCHL or
NOJHL.
NOJHL. As you mentioned, your team was not really the strongest. So how did you sort of adapt to, I think if I'm not mistaken, you lead your team in points or second as a defenseman?
I was first as a defenseman and second in the on the team.
So obviously not having such a strong team, how did that year sort of help you or not help you?
Yeah,
How'd you sort of get through that year?
it was a good year. Coaching and everything was great. Billets were awesome. Um, but yeah, like I played a lot of minutes on that team, so I think that really helped me.
Yeah,
We
there was
weren't the
a couple times there we came to I watched 1 year games there in Powassan. Always,
Mhm.
sort of kept up to date. And then that off season you got traded to Elliott Lake, correct?
Yeah, well, I got traded to the was LA Lake Red Wings, now the Vikings. Um, yeah, we were looking really good at the start of the year. We beat one of the top teams that went to Centennial Cup, Timmins, first game of the year at our in our barn. But I don't know, probably 800 people in the LA Lake rink, and right after that, we got the bad news that the rink was shutting down. But owner Jeff and head coach at the time Chris they were all positive. I mean, all the guys were, what can you do? But we're gonna make the best of it, and we all had fun, and it doesn't matter what the score is. But
Yeah, take if you don't mind, take me sort of a bit deeper into that story about how you guys sort of lost your rank, game one. So where'd you guys go? How was like the different atmosphere? Obviously, if you're traveling somewhere else to play home games, you're not going to get all the Elliott Lake fans. So sort of give me a deeper dive into that perspective.
yeah, so I think honestly, LA Lake's probably got one of the best fans in the NOJHL, let alone this CJHL, because we moved to Massey, Ontario, which is about 30 minutes away from LA Lake. It was the closest rink we can think or even go to. And Massey brought us in like they did everything for us. They redid the rink almost. put probably thousands of dollars worth of it in the rink. And every day at 3 o'clock, we'd go to our rink in Ellie Lake, and we'd take the school bus to Massey, Ontario, and and then you know I didn't mind it. All the boys were on the bus, and we were bonding every day.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Um, I couldn't complain about it because I'm playing hockey, and the coaches were all positive about it. Owner Jeff was very positive about it. He did a great job, and yeah, and then all the fans. I think Massey had quite a bit of fans, but the fans from Ellie Lake would take another school bus, and they would travel all the way down to Massey and cheer us on. And tell me, one of the great fans in Ellie Lake they are, and yeah, and I guess late nights in Ellie Lake, but we all had fun and a lot of team bonding.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about the team bonding part. It'd be definitely, beneficial if for you guys spending 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back on a bus. So you played half a season this year in Elliott Lake, and then if I'm not mistaken, you asked to be traded, correct?
Yeah,
So you
so
asked to be traded. Did you specifically ask for Smith Falls, or did you just ask for somewhere in the CC?
just somewhere basically in the CC. I wanted to go. This is my dream league. I'm from Deep River, and I've been growing up watching Pembroke play. And our coach Pat, he used to coach for Pembroke, and I just love watching the CCHL, and it was my dream to play in it. So I try to get over here, and then Pat and Mark picked me up, and on the trade deadline, I got traded. I got the call from the coach saying you're going to Smith Falls, and I packed up my stuff and came here on the 11th.
So yeah, so take me through sort of, because I played 1 year junior and it was just in the COVID year. So obviously, there was trades, but I didn't get moved. There wasn't much transactions. Take me through sort of as a junior A player. What goes through sort of talking to the GM owner of Elliott Lake, and then eventually how it sort of settled out to be Smith Falls.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to talk to any teams if you're on a team. So I had my coach Chris, helping me out. He's great at it, and he told me that there was a couple of teams in the CCHL that wanted me, and obviously Smith Falls was by far the best. And yeah, and then I guess you get there's different trades you can happen. You get traded for a player, you can get traded for a player development fee, which is money, and that's what I got traded for. But yeah, it just came here and been a blast since.
So yeah, you got traded to a pretty good situation. Smith Falls was what? You guys finished second in the regular season or first
Yeah, we were second in the regular seat in our
division?
like, whole league, and then first in our division.
First new division. So obviously you landed in a pretty good situation. Obviously a team that's, fighting for to win the championship. You're currently in playoffs if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, second round.
Yeah, okay. So we'll get into that in a couple minutes. But what was sort of your first reactions like, pulling up to the Smith Falls rink, meeting all your new teammates? What was that sort of like?
It was really good. They're all welcoming. Like they all shook my hand when I came in and showed me kind of around the room. We have probably one of the best rooms in all of CJHL and one of the nicest rinks. And then yeah, they just brought me in and kind of showed me what to like. The coaching has been great here, but yeah, they just brought everybody on the team has brought me in, and they've all been good to me. And you know since day one, they've always had your back. Yeah, it's been good.
So yeah, you mentioned second round. Who'd you guys play first round?
We played Carleton Place,
Okay,
Canadians.
so obviously that one, what was it? What was the series? I didn't check to be honest.
We won 4-1.
4-1. Okay, so like a gentleman's sweep sort of. What's sort of the mentality like right now in the second? Like I'm assuming first rounds are just sort of ending, wrapping up. So what's the mentality sort of in the room going into the second round?
So you can tell, everybody's a bit nervous, but last year's T. Smith Falls team, they made it all the way to the finals, game seven, and unfortunately lost. But they all want to win this year. They're all hungry for it. Everybody's hungry to win. Um, After the 4-1, we feel good about our playing and a couple injuries, which is Sucks, but we got to work around it. Cornwall, yeah, we just got to play Cornwall hard, and they're a good team, but I feel like we can take this one.
Cool. So yeah, I just got one more, and then I'll let you go. You have one more year of one or two more years of eligibility.
I have one more year after this, my
So one
21
more.
year.
So obviously right now your goal, you're thinking about playoffs, but sort of back in your mind, what are your sort of plans moving forward?
Yeah, so I hopefully come back here next year. And then I'm looking for probably a D3 scholarship
Cool.
in the States would be good. And then yeah, see what happens from there and try to go maybe get some schooling and play all my years in NCAA.
Cool. Well, thank you for your time. We do wish you luck in the remaining of the playoffs. I'll definitely start tuning in a bit more. But yeah, I don't know if you got anything else to say, but if not, we'll let you go.
Thank you very much for having me, Noah.
Perfect. Thanks, Blake.